Regarding Jamal Murray, you noticed we were talking about it. That's as close to the old Jamal Murray we've seen this season.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you could see it in his face just in terms of the seriousness with which he was approaching this basketball game, with which he was playing offense and defense with purpose and intentionality that I think that seeped into everybody else and was one of the reasons why the Nuggets won today.
And the shot making. He had a couple shots and they're like, oh, I remember that guy.
Yeah,
you know,
the Nuggets are now 5-2 when he scores 20 points. I mean, it matters to get him to the number.
Well, it took 23 games, but for the first time this season, the Nuggets hold it. April 9th of last year that they've held an opponent to under 100. And if you mapped it out, if you ask Coach Malone, what kind of game do you want out of your team? That's the kind of game.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, so, you know, you do things to make yourself successful as a team. And then you have to do the support things to make sure that your main things hold up. And so for the Nuggets, defensively, they were good in the first half too. But the turnovers chipped away. This kind of like pulled at the fabric of what they were doing defensively, really made this thing a close game. Well, 14 turnovers in the first half became just 8 in the second half and really was just 5 while the game was actually in balance. And because then they were able to really retain all their own possessions, score on their own possessions, and then flip that turnover story, turn the Clippers over. Now you get the blowout victory, which is what happened today.
Those 14 turnovers kept it close. Otherwise, it would have been a blowout from the get-go. The Nuggets win the first quarter tonight. They're now 8-0 when they win the first quarter of any game this season. It's time to see who's all in, presented by Ball Corporation. All in for the Nuggets, aluminum all in. The game changed in the third. Nuggets were down 5 at one point when that man decided to take over. The Porter quarter from MPJ as he finished with 12 of his 17 in that third quarter.
Yeah, he just got super aggressive. Look at that. I mean, you know, just diving right down, tip dunks, really looking for his shot in a lot of different ways, and then obviously being able to run the court as well. I mean, this is something that we talked about in the pregame show, which is Michael Porter Jr.'s ability to not just be a three-point shooter, but be this player that really puts a lot of pressure on the rim, rebounds the basketball, and then plays aggressively. He got straight to all of those things right in the third quarter.
We heard from Jamal Murray after the game, and the one thing you noticed from the get-go, because he scored early, the athleticism.
Yeah.
He looked athletic again tonight.
Yeah, he really did. With Jamal, look, it's been kind of an up and down, a little bit beat up, a little bit, just a lot of little ailments happening with Jamal Murray. But right now, tonight, what I wanted to see was a little bit of explosion. I mean, they put him right in as a starter. He played 32 minutes. Which was more than any other player for the Nuggets tonight. So he's fine. The hamstring looks like it's really, really good. And then what he did was he looked like a player that was really ready to rock and roll. And that was just right off from the jump, getting into a shot. He says, look, that's just a rhythm shot, right? Jump shot right there, right? Squared up. Obviously, as a playmaker, able to still do all those things, but just taking your shots on time, squared up, not fading one way or another, really aggressive to the rim.
Right
this
there.
is Jamal Murray
That's vintage.
Yeah, exactly right. And so, look, this is a chance for him to build on that, right? And so can't he now do this repeatedly as they're going to need him to do the remainder of the season?
Hey, listen, when Jamal is Jamaling, the Nuggets are a problem. And you could tell Nikola Jokic's intent tonight. He only attempted 4 shots in the first half, right? He didn't have one of those explosive nights, but he didn't need to. He was pretty content in letting his teammates carry their own, and they did. I mean, again, if you ask Nikola, would he rather shoot the ball 38 times a night, or would he rather shoot it like he did? 9 attempts, 6 makes. This is the game he wants. He prefers.
Yeah, and look, he got a lot of help from his teammates. I mean, we're talking to Jamal and MPJ were great tonight. The Clippers also stand a lot of people around Nikola Jokic. They really haven't gotten to a space of where they feel comfortable guarding him a certain way or another, but today they just surrounded him and so really just allowed him to be able to distribute the ball a little bit more. Other players had space as well. He did pop in a few shots here at the end of the third quarter, but you're right. I mean, all things considered, Nikola's at his happiest when everybody else is happy around him.
You want to hear something crazy? He was 2 for 2 from 3 tonight on the season so far. Nikola Jokic leads all NBA players, maximum, I think, 30 attempts. From the three-point line, he's 44 for 86.
Yeah, that's just.
I mean, that's
insane.
just ridiculous.
Yeah, it really is.
That's a ridiculous number. When we come back on Nuggets post-game.
Win that first half. Was this a defensive rebounding effort?
Well, we almost gave the first half away because, to your point, we had 14 turnovers for 18 points. And 9 of those 14 turnovers were in that second quarter. We built a 13-point lead. Things were going well. And then we just proceeded to throw the ball all over the gym, which fueled their break, and they took the lead. And we were lucky to be up, I think, 2 at the half. The second half, only 8 turnovers. And you think about it. Of the 8, 3 were in the first 2 minutes, and then 2 were really late in the game. So what allowed us to build that lead back was we took care of the ball. And I thought our defense all night long was great, 98 points. James Harden only had 2 free throw attempts. He came in averaging 13 a game against us. That was a really big point of emphasis. We did a better job guarding the three-point line. And we got contributions from a lot of people. I thought our bench was really good tonight. So, but yeah, that was the thing at halftime. I said, fellas, man, why are we beating ourselves? It's not anything they're doing. It's us coming down. They had, I want to say, 12 steals at halftime. Does that sound right for you folks out there? About right, ballpark. And a half? Come on, man, what are we doing? So took care of it, and when we do that, we have a very potent offense. And thought Jamal was really good tonight. Michael Porter had some great plays. Was impressed with his defense. Nikola, but once again, Julian, Peyton off the bench were great tonight.
What was the most important difference you noticed against both Harden and Powell after, talking about them all week? Kind of.
I just mentioned it, the free throws. I mean, James Harden, 2 free throws compared to 13. That is a huge difference. And he averages over 7.5 per game, which is 4th in the NBA. So I felt, I thought Jamal set the tone defensively tonight. I thought he was really good defensively. And I love that. It can't be, let me get my jump shot going. Start with your defense. And he set the tone defensively. He was at DPOG. I felt when Russ came in the game for Jamal, Russ was very physical, blowing things up, making them feel us. I thought we were physical tonight. We were aggressive tonight. And we knew coming in, man, Harden and Powell were averaging 63 against us combined. And so to hold them to 31 is a huge improvement.
The 15 steals, the 36 fast break points, how does that fit your idea of what this team's identity needs to look like?
Well, the defense, right? So you can force that team into 19 turnovers and score 24 points, 36 in transition. And I was joking with our coaches today. I still don't understand why we're first in fast break points per game, because we don't rebound and we don't get stops. So that is like a mystery to me. But tonight it made sense, 36 in transition, because we did defend, we did rebound. They only had 5 offensive rebounds tonight. Huge improvement, and we've been doing rebounding drills in practice. It's like we've been having back to Bataan, let's have a training camp practice. So the guys bought into it, and it's one game. We have a ways to go, but hopefully we can start stringing some games together and playing the right way.
What do rebounding drills look like in practice?
Go find somebody, hit somebody, stop ball watching. I mean, again, the habits that we have that are poor habits are ball watching, leaking out. And so we will have the ball will be flying around, the coach will shoot it, and you got to find a guy that's crashing to the glass. And just try to build that muscle memory of hitting somebody, turning and finding and hitting somebody. And it transferred over for tonight. Again, only 5 for them. We were plus 15 on the glass, which is an outstanding margin.
Coach, how nice is it to win by 22 points in a night where Nicola's well under his averages kind of across the board, and you don't need as much from him necessarily?
Very nice.
So the Clippers ran a lot of guard screens last time in the win in LA for them. Felt like you guys defended those a lot better today. Was that a big point of emphasis?
Yeah, obviously they go matchup hunting. They'll look to go, okay, who does James feel he has a matchup against? Knowing most teams are going to switch that small action that you're alluding to, and that gives him in his mind the advantage to play his one-on-one game. He's one of the greatest one-on-one players in recent NBA history. And so we really stressed when you're guarding him, showing your hands, giving him room to attack. We really switched up our pick and roll coverages tonight with our bigs, not always being up, giving them different looks. We cross-matched at times. We knew going into this game we could not continue to do the same things that we did in the games 1 and 2 because it didn't yield the right result. So we had to give them different looks. But in the small, to your point, I felt our guys were more locked in, more disciplined, and a little bit more physical within that.
Coach Malone mentioned the fast break points. 36 fast break points for the Nuggets tonight. That is the most of the Michael Malone era, believe it or not. It's been a while. We're pleased to welcome D-Mac, Darren McKee, to the set.
What's going on, everybody? What a win! Hey, should Vic Lombardi take one more button down so we can see, so we can get the full Friday? Oh,
One more button?
all right.
It's that kind of night, huh?
It's that kind of night.
That kind of night with
Friday
the
night, baby.
It is Friday night. Let's
let's calm down a little bit. Talk to me about what you saw. We saw a balanced unit. It wasn't one of those nights. Nikola didn't have to come to the rescue tonight. He got to sit and watch a lot like we did.
No, you need some of these games. It's been a long time since it's felt like the Nuggets have had one. I thought it was a positive. If somebody wanted to see Jokic take a million shots, this wasn't the night, but that's a good thing, not a bad thing. No, I thought it was the most balanced, probably overall most effective game of the year against a team that you need to have that against, man. They're right there in the standings. You know you're going to face them down the road. So great night, great win.
What about Jamal Murray? Obviously, he's been back, and 20 points from him. What do you think?
I thought what was key for Jamal is he only hit 2 threes, but they were right away. It got him in the flow right away. He had that nice reverse. He looked athletic. He looked just, I don't know, he looked rested. He looked better. There was a good spirit. He was laughing and having some smiles on the bench. I thought Jamal was great tonight. I thought it was awesome.
You know, the Nuggets have been able to play different styles this season. We've seen them score 140 points, but we haven't seen them play defense until tonight.
Yeah.
But this is when they won a championship, it's because they played defense. This is the style Michael Malone wants to play.
And you got a little bit nervous there, didn't you, when they gave up that lead?
Yes.
It started great, and then it's they